Welcome back to coverage of the DWC Organizational. We're getting ready for round 5. Our feature match is lined up. Battle of the last remaining 2 undefeated players, unversed on Bant mid-range, versus the one blue-red flash player in the field, Sterling.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Both these players, I think, have played really well throughout the tournament in the times we've seen them on coverage. Yeah, this is for the undefeated. I think both of them probably locked for top 8, but it should be close. But yeah, I'm curious how this plays out. Like I said, this blue-red deck just been a dark horse this whole tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I would
not have been one of my picks.
Literally zero chance I'd ever have picked this deck to even be undefeated at this point in the tournament. But Sterling playing really well. Mm-hmm. Got a lucky timeout for one of his victories, though, in a game that I'm pretty sure he was on the ropes, fitting to lose, but was, able to take away that win with the match. So we're on to this round 5 feature match for these undefeated players. Looking forward to seeing how it turns out.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a matchup I have any experience in viewing, so
Literally
can't really
none.
say who is favored.
I had no idea.
I mean, the Bant deck does have access to Teferi Time Raveler. So if I were to place bets, I would say the deck with Teferi Time Raveler versus the Flash deck has the advantage.
I agree, especially because we're also looking at the Bant deck with 3 copies of Arboreal Grazer. And, if you can get the turn 2 Teferi Dream.
Turn 2 Teferi on the play is going to be back-breaking for Sterling.
Absolutely lights out.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just waiting for them to get paired up in the Arena client, and we'll be on the way to this match. We got some other backup matches planned as well, so we can keep the content coming at you for this tournament that we are hosting here for the DWC Organizational.
Yeah, while we're waiting for the match to start up, let's hop over to our standings so we can take a quick look at what's going on. We have unversed top of the standings, 4-0, 8-1 in games. Sterling second place, 4-0 as well, followed up by Ugly Red, 3-1
on Jund Food.
Synot 3-1, Bant mid range. Brick Fingers in 5th place, Jund Food. 6th place we got P Sam's Mono Red Aggro.
Yeah.
7th place we've got Caden. They are playing Teamer Clover.
Yeah.
And then rounding out the top 8 players right now is it's Enzi. It's Enzi on Teamer Clover as well.
Teamer Clover, yeah. Yeah, deck just skating on the edges of the top 8 here. These last few rounds going to be close to determine our top 8. Again, this is a free tournament we host, just, for the love of the game.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, this is the DWC Organizational. We do it every set release. And it's our free standard best of 3 arena tournament.
Prizes, first place is a box.
First place, this time around, Box of Theros Beyond Death, and the Wizards Tower, best sponsor of this podcast and this tournament, has provided store credit for the rest of that top 8.
We're shipping this one. Yeah, prizes pay out all the way to top 8, free entry.
Yeah, kicking things off with a mulligan here for Litxx, and looks like we have a keeper now.
Yeah, you can keep this easy. Yeah, we just need to hit land drops, and you're okay. But be curious to see how the blue-red flash deck from Sterling can put the pressure on them, because there's a chance that they have a slow start and blue-red can take back the priority here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this Growth Spiral, I think I would main phase if I knew deck lists, but...
Well, they do know deck lists.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we just don't have it up, though, because at the same time, I would also be lazy and just not bother. But you have to assume they probably aren't countering a Growth Spiral. It's pretty tough to justify countering a Growth Spiral a lot of the times. Although I think if you have a Mystical Dispute, it's worth firing it off. But we're probably going to see the end of turn Brine Board Cutthroat. But there's the haymaker in this matchup.
Teferi Time Raveler on top of the deck.
Yeah, easy scry to the top.
It stays there.
I just can't imagine a world in which we're not just... This is tough, actually, if you Windmill Slam it here. If you're worried about, deck lists, right? So you know that there's a bunch of quenches.
You have to worry about quench.
You know that there's quenches on the other side. So, this is a really safe play if we go for the Uro. Taking the scry first to see more options, more decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hydroid Crisis on top.
A little awkward when we're sitting a 4 land with no further land drops. That's my only kind of concern with topping a Crisis in that position. Mm-hmm. But I think it's okay if we're going to play the Euro. We can hope that we dig into a bunch of land. This way we have follow-up. Like, one of the things against Blue-Red is you still need threats.
Yeah.
You still need to be able to do stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So Uru's going to draw that Hydroid Krasis, gain 3 life, and head to the graveyard. And we're going to go back to Sterling.
I assume we got a Brian board Cutthroat coming down here.
There's the Cutthroat.
Now this is going to be a question of, does this card just simply run away with the game? This is going to be one of those questions we have about Blue-Red where that's what you hate to see. This
Another Krasis off the top. Yeah.
About bottoming potentially here, but yeah, it's tough because now we're in this weird position where sometimes, man, it feels like, do you remember when Mono Blue was a thing? I know you didn't forget.
Oh, do I remember when Mono Blue was a thing?
I do know. I've played against this Blue-Red and I've watched the Blue-Red Flash deck enough, not a ton, but enough to know that it can put you in the same hole where it feels like you never resolve another spell. Mm-hmm. And I have a feeling that
if this Teferi resolves,
there's no way.
There's an opt.
Wow.
So no Ionize for Sterling. Let's see if this opt can find some kind of 2-mana interaction to counter this Teferi.
If this Teferi comes down, it's so bad it can just bounce that Cutthroat, and then we're in such a bad position. But if there's a quench here, we're okay. Could it just be opting to get the counter on it now, because we know that there's a quench or whatever. Mm-hmm. Not seeing Sterling's hand has been a beating all day, though, because I would love to be able to see what the Blue-Red player is doing, just because I'm not familiar with the deck.
Yeah.
And it seems really fun.
All right, there's a Stomp. Coming in for 2 points of damage. Pumps the Brineborn Cutthroat up to a 4-3, but Teferi's going to send that Cutthroat pack in, it looks like.
Yeah, you gotta. I like taking your time to think about this, though. Yeah. I think you got to do it. Yeah. But I like the pause there. I mean, Litxx has been playing crazy well all day. Really safe.
Yep.
Really considering every option. Trying to get most value. I can't believe the Blue-Red deck didn't have a counterspell there. I literally can't believe it.
All right, Bone Crusher Giant comes down from Adventure. We're going to pass the turn back to Litxx. The window is open to resolve a Hydroid Krasis or a Nissa who shakes the world.
This is tough. I wonder if you play Krasis, if you're worried about petty theft, but then that doesn't feel too bad, but then they get your Teferi. It just depends what you want to prioritize here. Defense. Mm-hmm. They can actually kill your Teferi if they have a petty theft, no matter what you do, apart from Shatter. So there is an argument potentially to pass with Shatter up. To protect your Teferi is the 100% Teferi lock, but I don't think you care that much anymore. I don't think you care about protecting your Teferi.
Yeah, I feel like the damage has been done. Getting that Cutthroat back in the hand, resetting the counters.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearing the way to resolve play this turn. No.
And now you've gotten so much value. You know, you're going to be able to do so much the next turn. Yeah. It just feels like that Teferi just won the game on the spot almost when it resolved. Yeah, I mean, this was kind of your... Well, we could see a way to kill the Teferi here, actually. All right. Looks like we're going to get it.
For 0. Cutthroat comes down, taps down the Hydroid Krasis. Bone Crusher Giant going to come across, get this Teferi off the board. We have a game here.
Oh, yeah, we're live. I mean, if I know anything about Sterling on this Blue-Red list from watching them play today, they know what to do in certain positions to try and prioritize. Mm-hmm. You know, unlucky that we didn't have the Quench or the Ionize, you know.
Yep.
One of several counterspells in our decks for that Teferi, so trying to make lemonade here. But it might be tough with a Nissa and a Hydroid Krasis in hand.
Yeah, interesting decision on this turn. Hydroid Krasis coming in.
We might see a Wrath.
Yeah, makes me think Shadow of the Sky is going to come down.
You can Nissa plus Shatter, right?
You can Nissa plus Shatter.
You just got to tap. Yeah, easy. Wow. Well, this is an insane turn. And then you get a 3/3.
You get to Shatter the Sky. And then animate your land.
And then play Arboreal Grazer off of it and put your Temple into play.
Oh, yeah.
And then that way you protect your Nissa, and then the net follow-up Hydroid Krasis is just gigantic. This is an insane turn. I also
very,
like
good turn.
Not turning the forest into a land. I actually like there because...
you want to line up a max Krasis next turn. Yeah,
yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this turn, this sequence of plays from Litxx, actually just unbelievable. This is such a powerful turn.
This Bantex looking pretty good.
It looks insane. This doesn't seem like it's going to be close. I mean, even if you have the Ionize or the counter magic here for the Krasis, the damage, I mean, this Nis is just making so much mana that it doesn't matter if the body gets countered. Sorry. Yeah, it should be wild. But, I mean, I don't know. This blue-red deck's been a lot trickier than I realized every time I've seen it on coverage. So
yeah, let's see if Sterling can put up a bit of a fight here and try and fight his way back into this game. Scorching Dragonfire takes care of the temple.
Perhaps a petty theft into a counter spell is enough, but I'm not sure. Yeah, this Crisis is just going to bury you. This is the classic Hydroid Crisis doing Hydroid Crisis things with Anissa, where you're just going to get buried. I can't imagine that you even care if this Crisis gets countered. Then your Uro's going to be live. You're going to have a million cards in hand. You're going to be at such a hefty life total. I don't think they can come back here. You know, there was a time where I was kind of saying on the podcast that I thought that Hydroid Crisis had been past its prime.
Imagine.
Like, I was out here just forgetting about Dre. Saying, blue whites, all these Nar sets.
Yep.
Life is so hard for Crisis. How am I supposed to draw all my cards? And I love a Crisis. I'm about it. And man, it's looking mighty fine here. Not a problem.
Nope.
Crisis just out here grinding value. Yeah, we see some decisions here trying to decide how we want to tap our lands to create optimal value for Litxx.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the petty theft, if it's here, is too late. I think what's happening is Sterling is recognizing that the Crisis is coming down.
Yeah.
From the Nissa, and that it's too much. You get a Crisis for 10, 11 if you want.
Goes for a Crisis for 8. Leaves up 4 mana.
Yeah. Which I also don't mind.
Plays around Double Quench. Not sure if there's Mystical Dispute in the main deck. Can't remember.
Yeah, I can't recall if there's a Mystical Dispute in the main. We can check here. But yeah, playing around Quench there, pretty strong. And now you're just loaded. So many safe answers. Yeah, I mean, the Nissa also just threatening an ult.
Yeah, no disputes in the main, just the 3 Quench. Plays around Double Quench there.
Yeah, really safe play. You don't really need more than an 8/8. And there's the petty theft, just that you wish you'd cast on your main phase. The attack for 0. Here we go.
Get in with the Grazer. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got to just feature this guy for the rest of the tournament. Actually, best player ever. Just always serving with the Arboreal Grazers. You absolutely love to see it.
Yep.
Just flexing.
All right.
This is like when I watch versus Mono Red and I just shaking my hand at every draw. I'm like, man, the draws in this band deck are all absurd. It's just like bomb after bomb. It's actually outrageous. Just triple Dream Trawler in Litxx's deck. And it looking insane today.
Yep.
But to be fair, never been in the situation where you have a couple Dream Trawlers in the opener. Always just drawing into them.
Yeah.
Deck firing on all cylinders. But again, Litxx playing very, very safe. Very controlled, very calculated.
Yeah,
going to
decision
attacks
here.
Yeah, going to attacks instead of going for lethal. Knowing that there's no way there's not a counter behind that petty theft, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, really smart heads up play.
Cutthroat comes down.
Yeah. Which you don't even mind. Curious to see what's going to happen here.
All right, there's a Brazen Borer. Gets a counter on the Cutthroat. Looks like we're going for a block on this Forest.
Yep.
But unfortunately for Sterling, this clears the way for Litxx to cast whatever they want.
I mean, you just slam this Dream Trawler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't even look. Because, I mean, at worst, they have Quench. You don't care. And then the Dream Trawler just lights out. I don't think the blue-red flash decks can ever beat a Dream Trawler. That's one of the reasons this deck probably hasn't been in the meta, right? Is that most other decks have lined up ways to beat a Dream Trawler. Right?
Yeah, if that card resolves, you're kind of stuck. Sterling sees the writing on the wall and packs it in.
I feel like Sterling got really unlucky there, though, with not having one of literally 9 counter spells in the main deck, following up that Brian Board Cutthroat that would have stopped that Teferi, right? Because 3 Quenches, 4 Ionize, 2 Negates in the deck, in the main deck, and no follow-up, despite, no Mull, no anything. It had the Brian, but, unlucky.
It's the way it goes sometimes.
Maybe should have Mull if you know deck lists. I don't know. It's tough, though, because their hands seem fine otherwise. They just needed them to not have the Teferi, and Litxx had the Teferi, so that's against the Flash deck. I mean, that's all. You're done. You know?
That's what, those games are going to play out that way sometimes. So it looks like Litxx is trimming a bit of the top end, trimming some of the early acceleration, get some mystical disputes in the deck. A couple of copies of Aether Gust goes up on the veto.
Yeah, I like this. You can probably, your counter spells are so cheap that you can board into that you can probably compete for counter wars not too badly. And you're probably going to be able to get ahead on mana that disputes won't be as good against you as they are against Sterling. So I think this is a good decision from boarding. I like keeping in all the Dream Trawlers because it feels like if that card resolves, it's... Yeah. Lights out. The awkward part is you kind of want to keep ECDs just to resurrect a Dream Trawler. But they kind of suck here, right? They get Gadwick, I guess.
They get Gadwick, they get Bone Crusher, and they get Brazen Borrower. So
that actually hits
pretty much all
the
creatures.
It's just so expensive, right? It's that you probably likely getting quenched, but maybe you just overload their counter magic or anything. I don't mind.
I think I want 4 Dispute in this matchup for sure.
Yeah,
Aether Gust not really at its best. I'm not sure if I'd bring that card in or not.
I don't think I'd even have it. I don't think Aether Gust matters that much. That's me personally, and again, I don't know though. I have this feeling that Litxx doesn't know either. I don't think.
I can't imagine they've played much of this matchup.
Right, but Sterling probably has. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the benefits of playing a brew.
Yeah, pretty good opening here.
This is an insane opener. That's a windmill keep. I won't even think about this. This is such a good hand. I mean, you could get... that's a tough one. You could get clowned out is the only problem because you're on the draw. Depending on how you want to...
Yeah, it's interesting. If Sterling goes for a main phase Brineborn Cutthroat on his turn 2 to play around Mystical Dispute.
Right, yeah. If that was the heads up play, actually Galaxy Brain. But I think you should almost, if you know deck list, there's 4.
Yeah.
Don't give them the time to untap. Just play the Brineborn Cutthroat now.
They pass it back, shocking in that Steam Vents.
Yeah. Because now they just get to play a tap land and Mystical Dispute your Brineborn. But if you main phase it, they never get a really good opportunity to interact with it again. And it might just run away with the game. Because like you got to know as blue-red that they don't play shock. They don't play a way to kill it. You just need it to get it on the board. And it'll be turns before they can answer it. But yeah, tough to say. This is a tough decision too, topping a land. Really deliberate play from Litxx.
Yep.
On coverage, thinking about every decision, really careful play.
All right, there's that Cutthroat Dispute. Gonna take care of that one.
Yep. Yeah, it's tough because most cases you probably aren't just going to play around it there. You're going to get into the heuristic sort of habit of casting it on your opponent's end step. I mean, that's normal.
Yeah, it is a heuristic that I think a lot of players get stuck into. Oh, this card has flash. Oh, it's an instant. I have to always play it on my opponent turns. But in a situation like this, in this specific matchup, if you just cast it main phase while your opponent's tapped out, I mean...
They can't really do anything.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now we're just starting the typical, Uro chain where we're going to cast all our Uros and grow spirals.
And really, in this matchup, if you're in Sterling's seat, you have to be the aggro deck.
100%. You're never beating them late just because of Crisis.
Yeah, and that one misstep might actually buy Litxx enough time to be able to control Sterling's draw. Like, imagine if he's coming in for 6 points of damage right now. Things would be looking a lot better.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at Litx's hand. If there was a Brineborn Cutthroat and that Bone Sharker Giant got to just stomp, when they tapped out for an Uro, now it's 3. Then there's a 4/3. They don't have Wrath. If you have Counterspell, you just behind that for the rest of the game. Yeah, it's tough. But now the bad deck's hand is just unlocked. And there's not enough pressure to really do anything, and they just get to run away with these Uros. Yep. Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough
Players
one.
trade counterspells there. Ionize, getting Dones vetoed. Earl resolves, gains 3 life, draws a card. And Litxx sitting at a pretty comfortable 18 points of life now after this attack.
Lord knows I've been in the position of this blue-red player, though, of Sterling, where I'm just like, oh, God, I shouldn't have done that. And then it just snowballs. And the bad deck seems like it's just drawing so well and snowballing all these opportunities, playing really safe, not just I don't even think Litxx is thinking about casting this Nissa into counter Magic, right?
Mm.
Some really patient play today from the DWC community, you know?
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Litxx the Sudden Storm.
All right, he's like, hold on, I'm looking for a counter spell. Interesting.
Oh.
That's a big one. Wait a minute. Why did I even count out the blue-red deck for even a second? I'm a fool.
Wait a minute.
It's a one of. I saw it in the list earlier.
I want to read this card.
The card's insane. I actually might just win this game on the spot. It actually might just steal this game. It just depends if there's a Wrath. If they can find a wow. Just going all in. Well, they better have Wrath or they're dead. That's not a Wrath.
All right, Sterling's putting the pressure on.
That's not a Wrath.
Litxx is desperately searching for a Shatter the Sky.
Wait, that's not a Wrath.
That's not one.
Hold on. If he plays his Teferi and you have Mystical, you just got to do it too, so he can't afford the Wrath if he pays the 3. Because then he can't draw a card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, leading with Teferi here seems like a pretty straight up play. Then you get to escape your Uro if you want.
Yeah. This is tough.
Also, playing Nissa, not terrible. You also get to play that and then escape your Uro as well.
Mm-hmm. But the problem is that, but you have the Dovin's Veto. But then just Nissa, you probably die because the Gadwick taps. Oh, man.
Yeah.
This is a really tough decision. We'll have to see what Litxx decides to play around because you're dead here actually to a lot of things. So you got to really think about what your best options are. Looks like this is good. And Teferi, too. I like this, actually.
All right, there's Teferi.
Yeah.
Looks like Litxx is getting sent back to Sterling's hand. Card drawn. This is going to animate a land here.
Yeah. Now this is tough because if you're in blue-red, it's hard for you to get all the Planeswalkers off the board in this turn because of the 3/3. Although you can tap the 3/3, but then you can't kill both the Nissa and the Teferi. Unless you have something like a Stomp, then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
What a game. A lot of decisions here for how you want to attack this board, what you want to prioritize.
Think back to Sterling's turn 2. If there was just a Brineborn Cutthroat in play still.
Oh, this game is over.
Yeah.
Yeah. That turn 2 Mystical Dispute shaped this entire game and how it played out completely. It's actually crazy. Yeah, you're right. How much that mattered. That single decision of main phasing it or not. And I'm not like trying to take anything away from Sterling at all. I think Sterling's played throughout this whole tournament super, super well. Really clean, really patient. I like this. Bouncing the Nissa there. I like that a lot.
Yep. Petty Theft sends Nissa back to Litx's hand.
Oh, no, but I think there's a misclick tapping the Teferi. That had to have been a misclick.
Ooh.
That had to have been a misclick.
Oh, and we're already in combat, so we can't play the Brazen Borrower or the Litxx.
Oh, no. Oh, that's so rough. That had to have been a misclick. There's no way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you have the Teferi off the board. Oh, man. Getting punished by a misclick. It's got to feel so bad. A true tragedy of Arena today. Somebody timed out when they didn't know there was a timer.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
somebody misclicked on a Teferi like into combat. Oh, man. Absolute beating. But, again, no Wrath.
I know the cost of this misclick is just Litxx has to come down right into the Elspeth Conqueror's death.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's so rough. Wow, that misclick just actually costing so much. Real tragedy. I mean, but this game ain't over. Sterling can still win this. Because you're priced into ECD.
Yeah, I mean, only 6 points of life.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
A Stomp kills you. A Stomp kills a bunch of stuff. Ends the game. It's really close. Oh, but there's a Dovin's Veto, so the Stomp doesn't end it. Wow. Oh, you gotta top that. Dude, this game's been wild. I love watching this blue-red deck. It just always seems like it's losing the whole time, and then it wins. I love it. I'm telling you. It's the
Bone Crusher Giant going to the face.
Get in there. Probably has Stomp going to get Dovin's veto to just be mad. I would be. I was playing a game the other day where I played around a bunch of stuff for a long time, and then it was game 1, and I was like, all right, good, got him. Like, he's at 2. There's no way his last card is Dovin's veto, and it was for my Stomp, and then I lost. I felt so bad, man.
Brutal.
Yeah. Dovin's veto in the main, so obnoxious. Yeah, I'm really curious. Just in the tank here. Really deliberate play from both these players. I mean, it's no wonder that they're both undefeated.
Yeah, it's a real awkward spot. There's a Gadwick for 1, draws a card. And if you don't find the burn spell to try and close this game now, you have to play the Brazen Borrower out.
And you're getting shattered.
And now your opponent gets to uptick their Teferi and shatter you.
And you get to just play the Nissa if you want.
Oh,
the main phase. Okay, well that's actually that's tough. Yeah.
I mean, this play makes sense if you're going to escape the arrow.
Yeah, you can escape the arrow, and then I think the game is close to over. Man, this game was just a margin away from victory for
That's
Blue
2
Red.
points of life.
I
know
that
Brineborn Cutthroat.
Cutthroat would have done. Oh man, it feels so bad. I mean, the Mystic Dispute would have got used later on something else, but I mean, Litxx never had Wrath this game.
Mm-hmm. Not until then.
Not until this very end. It would have been over.
All right, still 5 cards in hand for Sterling, though.
Yeah, I know. I was so curious. But I just feel like this Teferi...
There's an Aether Gust.
Yeah. The Teferi Elspeth combo is just gaining too much life here, too. Like, Elspeth Conquers Death, bringing back even just an Uro if you want. You know, or there's lots of options. It's just such a tough one. You could just decline, yeah. I mean...
All right. Uro's back on top. Cutthroat comes down.
Cutthroat. Yeah, they just gained so much life here.
Yeah, I think the window might be past.
This Teferi just shutting down your whole deck too is such a beating. Mm-hmm. But they had it. So close. My dark horse bet. I'm still betting though, because Sterling's gonna top 8, so it's okay. I know, like, yeah, as a caster, it's probably not great of me to just be actively rooting for somebody, but I don't know. This deck's fun to watch. Mm-hmm. It's fun to cast. I'm about it. This bad deck's great too, though. Actually, watching both these players has been a treat all day.
Yep.
Yeah, been some really tight play today. Really proud of the DWC community. You know, just out there putting in some good work.
All right, Nissa, who shakes the world, hits play.
Now we're just getting too much value. This is absurd. Once Bant can lock up the board like this, I think it's almost impossible for them to lose. Just so safe with this Teferi. Get to resolve everything. This Nissa's starting to go crazy. It's just too much. I mean, you can even... They can never kill this Teferi this turn, I assume. You just plus it, yeah.
That misclick, too.
The misclick also just, like, brutal.
That same Teferi is still in play.
I know. I know. We'd be actually be going to a game 3 if it wasn't for the misclick as well. What a tragedy.
Yeah. You hate to see it. Oh, boy.
And now it's the unbeatable. The big hefty.
Yeah, the uncounterable Dream Trawler.
Yeah. Can't be countered. Can't be killed. Hexproof, unbeatable. That's the end. That card's too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's too good. Just like game 1, showing up, you know, later in the game, just on time to make sure that you can't possibly lose.
All right, Dream Trawler hits play. Going to animate this Temple of Plenty.
Well, I should have served with the Grazer, but what are you going to do?
And Sterling gives the good game, and that's the end of it. Our last undefeated player, Litxx, unversed.
Going into the last round undefeated.
Getting the win there, locking up a top 8 berth in the 3rd DWC Organizational.
Yeah, actually insane play. We should interview him. We should have called. We should have talked to him. Too good.
I'm going to see if I can find another feature
Yeah, because we got backup
so we
matches.
can jump into it.
Yeah, we can stay active on the contents today. Yeah, that's true. Probably a few other people still going. Just hit somebody with a call. Yeah, that game was, man, it was just on a razor's edge for Sterling on Blue-Red Flash.
Yeah.
Razor's edge. 2 minor moments in the game that just determined the entire outcome.
Oh,
Crazy that like
let's hop over to Brick Fingers again, playing against Synot.
Oh, this is an important match as well. This is going to determine some top 8 contention, placing, standings for top 8. So, and you know that the Jun Food deck's still going. It's against Bant. You know they're still battling. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Oh, look at this quality. Oh.
All right, we're hopping into
one.
game 1. We're not missing any action here. Oh, looks like we're just in time to watch a God Eternal Bantu sack an entire
Just another
board.
combo finish.
Man, this is twice now. Twice now we've come into Brick Fingers to watch them just sacrifice their entire board.
Oh, wait.
Perfect timing.
Is playing God Eternal Bantu just a must at this point? It's looked insane every time. But of course, also, someone used the clip again of us tuning in. Oh, my God. 3 times today now.
Yeah.
Twice in the same Brick Fingers match. We
Yeah.
tune in as it's just a Bantu just ending the game with Mayhem Devils. Actually insane.
Since we're recording the entire event, you could just piece together both times we put into a highlight reel of Brick Fingers feature matches.
Brick Fingers getting it
for
done.
the YouTube channel.
Of us on the thing saying, all right, hold on, I'll find a backup match. Oh, look, this game's still
Oh,
it looks
just
like
in time to watch all the good stuff.
Game 1's still going,
Yeah.
and it's gone. Back to the loading screen with you. Get out of here.
All right. Well, I mean, we talked about this before, how grindy the Jun Sack versus Bant mid-range matchup
I'm telling
is.
you, man.
We're just tuning in now. They're just finished game 1.
You need planner cleansing, man, on the Bant side. I'm telling you. I don't think... Can you pull up Synot's deck list here?
Yeah.
And I think Synot played so well when we had him on coverage earlier against a deck that was tough in Clover. Did really well, but I don't think they have enough tools in their sideboard and throughout their 75, despite their really teched out list, to beat maybe every other thing. I don't know that they can beat this grindy Trail of Crumbs, Witch's Oven. It just seems so insane from Jun Food when they're playing against Bant.
Yeah.
Maybe Jun Food is the meta counter, actually, to Bant, because it just seems like the Bant decks are having a really hard time versus this deck.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Synot's sideboard, we've got 4 Aether Gust. Maybe you want the Narset? Maybe? It looks pretty bad in the face of a Mayhem Devil, though.
Yeah, it looks
no,
it is. It is. It's horrible. Trust me,
know.
I've been on the receiving end. Narset's awful here.
And then you have the Thrashing Bronodon and I guess the Wicked Wolf, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, but that stinks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's bad. I'm telling you, dude, you need 2 cleansings.
I can buy that. I'm all about planner cleansing.
I think this matchup, the more I'm watching it play, is like horrible for you. And I think as Bant, all your other matchups are pretty good. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're pretty well set up to battle against Blue-White Control, Mono Red, Teamer Adventures.
Mono Red looked like a stomp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That matchup did not look remotely close.
Not even. No, it didn't even look like they were in the same
Unverse
universe.
just had his way with P-Sams.
Yeah, the thing is, we also cast a Curse to P-Sams pretty hard.
Yeah,
and the Bant draw was nuts. And Mono Red did brick on lands constantly, but...
Yeah, well, come on. All right, looks like we've got...
Oh, I'm keeping this.
Yeah, pretty decent opener.
Just fire off the Crocs and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Just see how it's going. Yeah. Took a maul here from the Bant side.
Looks like we've got turn 1 acceleration or Boreal Grazer.
Mauling with the Boreal Grazer feels so bad, though. But it's tough. I'm not sure it's super great in this matchup, even, actually. I don't know that you even care. I think you went on top
no
of it.
turn 3 play.
Yeah.
Synot.
That's rough.
All right, Crocs is going to come down.
Yeah,
It's gonna,
man, on the mull, when like you have an arboreal grazer, like you're not going to ramp. When you mull with arboreal grazer, you lose so much of the power of cheating a land into play because now you're just not doing anything with the advantage anyway. So yeah, it looks rough.
That Crocs sends an ECD to the bin.
Although,
I mean, no third
drop.
land at the moment.
Yeah, but the problem is, how's the Bant deck going to end this game quickly? Although Synod has the Bant list in our tournament with a Cavalier of Thorns, and if there is, or that,
there's a Nissa.
This could be a mull into a Croxa where we just run the game over with a Nissa. If Jund Food is not capable of finding terrains, the attack
getting in with the Arboreal Grazer, you'd love to see it.
Absolutely. Oh, but there's the Noxious Grasp, so we got a game. But Screw usually beats Flood, right? That's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, Synod, only one card left in hand. This 3/3 is a bit of a clock.
We're looking for, what, a Krasis maybe next turn. You know, Krasis for 4, get some cards back, get some pressure. See Brickfingers here just frantically hovering over the insane amount of bombs. And you see Synod just still flexing, attacking with that.
All right, there's the third land. This game isn't over.
Yeah, this game's live.
Interesting decision here if you want to play out the Mayhem Devil to kind of brunt the aggression from your opponent, or just activate your food, sack your food, activate your Trail of Crumbs.
I think we're looking for just more lands, so I'm pretty sure we're going to see a food sacrifice here and just digging for lands. Our hand is stacked, and we just need as many. We can't miss another land drop. If you're on Brickfinger's side, you need to aggressively make your land drops for the rest of the game, or you're going to lose, and that's part of it. There we go.
Yep. Ooh, Fabled Passage. Really great find here. Next turn you get to play the Mayhem Devil and kill that to Fairy for free.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, man. Mayhem Devil just... If you want to know about value, how is a black-red dumb 3/3 just the king of Value Town? How? It's upsetting.
Yeah.
How is this...
You remember Judith, the Scourge Diva? How everyone was like, oh man, aristocrats.
Yeah.
We don't even play that card in your sack deck.
Yeah, man.
Mayhem
get
Devil,
card
get
out.
this uncommon in my deck.
Yeah.
Rares, get them out.
Yeah. What, am I going to pay 3 mana for a 2/2? No, thank you. I'll take 3/3 that's unbeatable. Yeah, Judith, garbage. Although that ECD looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the answer in Thrashing Bronodon. You're going to want to get that down because Nissa coming back. Well, even you have a Noxious Grasp, so Nissa coming
that's what I'm
back isn't the
saying.
worst thing.
I don't know if it matters. I wonder if you just trade double Trail of Crumbs here in this chill. No, you can't do that. That's ridiculous. What do you do? You could Thrashing Brontodon Trail and then just sip. You have a 3/4. It stops all aggression. I guess this is an option too. You leave up Noxious Grass so that you can.
It looks like Brickfingers is considering that.
So I liked playing the Trail because of this. You can't Noxious Grasp because of ECD. You needed to play the Trail there because then the next turn you could just sit on instant speed on their turn, the Noxious Grasp, but now you can't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The ECD, like I said, that the second chapter gets a lot of people. Yeah, Brontodon's fine.
Yeah, real awkward now because now you can't even play the Trail of Crumbs on your turn without
Exactly.
almost tapping out
So
entirely.
you're priced into doing this, which I dislike. I don't like doing this because I think you're going to die. Well, no, you probably won't die. Oh, that would be the... I like that play. The bow with no mana.
Decides to put the
Brickfingers.
Overgrown Tune into play tap so they can't cast their Bontu.
Yeah. Brickfingers just hamming it up for coverage. You'll love to see that, actually.
I think Corvold's still a reasonable play on this board. You have a backup one, so I actually don't mind playing the Corvold here.
Oh, yeah. No, I do. I like it too. I just take to get a huge start on the board that can block. Also, you know, you're assuming they don't have another ECD. They only have 3 in the deck, and there's 2 in the graveyard now.
All right, so both creatures coming in. What does
This is
this
a
mean?
Wrath. This has to be a Wrath. You're just getting the Corvold off the board. Which is fine for you. I don't even think you care.
Mm-hmm.
Man, is this matchup just unlosable for Jund Food?
Is it unlosable? Definitely not. Definitely not.
It feels really strong.
All right, Shadow the Sky. Brickfinger's going to draw a card. Mana issues are over.
And now I have this feeling, because of this Noxious Grass, these Trail of Crumbs, it looks like if you're on the board, and I can't fault Sign Up for making any of these decisions. If you're on the other side, you're like, oh, they don't have any food, they don't have any engine, they don't have any cats. All right, I'll just put pressure on them, you know?
All right, no value Bontu coming down onto the table. There's a Cavalier Thorns.
We got the 5-6 battle. Oh, we milled an Uro. That's good.
I mean, Bontu has the advantage as that card has Menace.
Yeah. I mean, probably blocking. Okay, so did bring in a Narset like you were wondering about. Drawing this Goose is actually really good here. You can also Croxa and get their last card, which I think I would do.
Yeah, Croxa nicely lines up against Cavalier Thorns as well.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I want to pay life here in case something crazy happens where I'm at 5 life and I get hit by a Cavalier. But, I mean, if you have a food token, it's not that bad. But I don't know if Brickfingers thought about casting the Croxa, but I would have just Croxa and got their last card. Then they're just stuck top decking. They don't have anything. And then you can also play out the Goose and still have food up. You can still do it, actually.
So many different lines you could take on this turn. You could hold up food sacrifices for your Trail of Crumbs.
Dude, Jund Food has a lot of...
Hold up Noxious Grasp. I mean, very interesting turn here.
Yeah, I think the Crocs is coming down.
Yep.
I like it. I think you always take their last card. I think. That's the school of Magic I come from. You know what I'm saying? You got one card left, taking it. Just like the other day when you had a Casualties of War someone land because they were stuck.
Yeah.
You know, you run it, you sort on land.
6 mana Stone Rain. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get them, you know?
Aether Gust is the last card.
Wait, that's actually so good on the Crocs. The Crocs would probably take over that game because it's a 6/6 and be able to attack.
Fingers decides to send it back to the bottom of the library.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Maybe because the discard value isn't worth the mana time there. You're sort of... I get that, actually. You start taking advantage of the Trail of Crumbs. You start cracking food. You're not at 5 anymore. You're pretty confident you can win the late game. You have another Trail of Crumbs in hand. You know they don't have planar cleansing. Right?
It would have made for an interesting next turn as Brickfingers could have went Corvold, played Croxa, dealt 3 to your opponent, and then when it gets sacrificed, it triggers your Corvold. You draw a card, put a counter on it. So that would have been a nice little sequence there.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Man, Jund Food is a tricky deck. Yeah.
But, I mean, the Uro coming back to play this turn is pretty face up, so maybe this is a turn where you just would rather hold up your Noxious Grasp instead of making that sequence.
Yeah, I can see that. Really patient with this Noxious Grasp. I think it's going on this Uro here, though.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Uro eats the Noxious Grasp. There is a window here to cast an Agonizing Remorse to get rid of it forever.
Yeah, well, I like this. I like this sequence a lot. If this is the plan, you also get to take a peek at the last card in their hand. Right? You get to see, a pretty smart play here as far as lining up the game so that you can close it. This Bontu actually might close the game just because of the menace, but it's going to be a big problem.
Strictly playing defense right now, though. Got to check this Cavalier of Thorns as we're down to 6 life on Brickfinger's side of the field. Another Aether Gust in hand.
Yeah. Just going to get rid of the Uro instead. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Uro heads to exile. Now,
just deciding whether we want to play this trail or not. Man, I'm really impressed with Jund Food's performance in these games. I think both the pilots that we've had on coverage playing them have been really, really good with the deck as well, despite a timeout. Which, to be fair, Ugly Red playing earlier in the tournament, they didn't know that you could even time out on Arena, so bound to happen.
Both players here still looking pretty good. 11 minutes on both their clocks. But, I mean, if Signup manages to fight his way back into this game, he's going to be a little strapped for time.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean, it's both of them are getting pretty low on the clock.
It's Fairy Time Raveler.
Well, we're going to have to crack a food. You could force lethal here, but, I mean, they'll just crack a food, right?
Yep.
Yeah, getting rid of the Bontu probably better. But even then, I mean,
get to reset the Bontu in a much bigger board where you're much more likely to sacrifice a few permanents to draw some cards.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. The real concern I would have is, I guess Mayhem Devil isn't enough, but it's...
Ooh, Liliana Dreadhorde General.
That's a good one.
Dodges that Aether Gust.
Wow, this is a close one too.
Mm-hmm.
The Cavalier of Thorns out of the Bant deck has been, to me, one of the defining features that have helped shape a lot of the games today for the Bant decks. Although, to be fair, Litxx's Bant deck just mowed through the field.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't close. Just the easiest undefeated player in Swiss thus far. So, actual insane performance from Litxx in this DWC Organizational third tournament. Oh,
there's a witch's oven.
Yeah, piece. Yeah, Voltron on the way. Actual just assembled. Yeah, tough call. I like this playing the Lily here, yeah. Playing around the... Because you can't really Corval, just a waste of your whole turn. You just get time walked by the Aether Gust, right?
Yep.
So we elect for the Liliana. Tick up, just jump block if you need. What's the Teferion one going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't care. You can just sort of chill, do whatever. Hell, you could probably even send in the Goose for 0.
You're at a pretty precarious life total, though, and this off the top is going to, make things really difficult.
Yeah, there are some draws that are pretty scary. This is still a close one. You could lose this game. I'm trying to think. If the last 2 cards in their hand were, for example, Nissa Teferi, you just lose. Right? I think.
No, you can sack
you can sack a food.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You still have enough mana to sack a food, so you would end up right back where you're at.
Yeah, it's close. But we're gonna start using this Lily and Witch's Oven. I'm pretty sure to start.
Yeah, I imagine this zombie's gonna jump in front of this Cavalier of Thorns. The food's it's gonna get.
The Goose.
Goose.
I guess.
This play makes sense if you want to get the Teferi off the board.
Yeah, this allows you to attack the Teferi down. Yeah, really safe play. And the Cavalier of Thorns is essentially priced into attacking. I mean, what else is it going to do? You have to do something.
Yep.
There are 3. You have to force action. I don't think you can block just to protect the Teferi.
Shatter to the Sky.
Oh, this is actually interesting. Now, what do you put back from your... I can't see what's in Signout's graveyard, but I mean, I assume there's something reasonable. An ECD? There's definitely an ECD in there. Be worth considering getting back an ECD. You're going to have to answer this Liliana.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't,
there's definitely a Nissa in there. There's the Narset ECD.
Yeah, we're going to see the ECD on top. Otherwise, you can't risk this Liliana halting. You just lose the game on the spot. So actually, that Shatter the Sky there really good is a way to... at least keep fighting. Although I'm not sure that. Oh boy,
Cauldron Familiar.
I'm not sure this is a fight you can win anymore. Who in chat said it? God, junk food is disgusting. Correct. This deck against Bant looks obscene. Man, come on. Also, this is round 5, right?
Round 5.
At the end of round 6, you want to do one giveaway and then we'll do one during the top 8?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, stay tuned, everybody in the chat. We're giving away some free arena. What are we giving? The sleeves?
Yeah, we've got some arena codes for sleeves.
Oh, what?
Magic is now hosting us with 1 viewer. Thanks, Magic.
Wait, that can't be the official one, right?
We appreciate the host.
I do love it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you love to see it. Okay, there's the Aether Gust out of hand. Yeah, just put it on top. Now you just don't care. Really patient play from the Jund Food player this game, from Brickfingers. I thought that both the times we've seen Brickfingers on coverage versus control, they so confidently played from the beginning of the game as if they could never lose the end game against control.
Yeah.
They played, it's almost like they listened to our last week's episode on the podcast, where they knew that the plan A's of Dream Trawler or whatever, none of these things would actually matter. And it was just about trading resources. And so they really prioritized not their life total, right? Which we see people have, but the control deck has no other option. Their plan B is to attack with these Cavalier Thorns, all these. They have no choice, of course. But just the way the plan B's line out in the end, Jund can't lose the late game. And, you saw Brickfingers this whole time just play around this game, this sort of plan.
Thrashing Brondon off the top. Nice draw here to take care of this Elspeth Conquers Death.
Just grinding these poor Bant control decks into the dirt. It looks so one-sided, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, Cauldron Familiar and the zombie token takes care of Teferi. We're going to get Corval down. Sack a food, draw a card. Sack this Brontodon, draw a card. 5 life isn't 0.
Play another oven. Kill this. Draw a card. Oh, there's my Mayhem Devil. And we have the Bontu. Okay.
Game actions. Game actions. Game
Also,
actions.
end of game, right? This
Yeah.
this is just it. This is just the end of the game, right? I
Yeah.
mean, man, I can't believe because the Bant deck against every other deck. I can't wait to see how the top 8 bracket shapes up. Mm-hmm. Because if you're the Jund Food deck and you just get paired against Bant, which is crushing the rest of the field, you have to be thrilled.
Yeah.
Because it feels like an incredibly one-sided matchup. It feels tough. It feels like Jund Food is absolutely just destroying this matchup.
Yeah, looks like we're holding priority here, sacrificing multiple food to get multiple card draws off the Corvold before it gets bounced back to hand.
Yep. Knowing full well that the Mayhem Devil here and the Bontu just end the game.
Yeah.
You sack everything, call it a day.
Oh, there it is.
Just another one back
The
again.
Splinter Twin finish.
Yeah, another combo finish.
And Sign It packs it in. Let's head back to the booth here. Lots of Brick Fingers advancing. 4-1.
With the Bontu build of Jund Food, which I think today came out as the dominant build, with Bontu just out there splinter twinning all these band control decks, in the end game. So, actually, you want to get a voice call? We can talk to him about his games before we go into the last round.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a winner's interview, quickly over here in the booth. All right, let's get Brick Fingers in here. Talk a little bit about deck decision. What do you think some matchups look like? All right. How's it going?
Well, and yourself?
Good. Yeah, we just thought we'd get you in for a quick winners interview after this match because it seems that you were just splinter twinning all your Bant opponents.
Yeah. Have not played this matchup very much, but in that last game there that you guys tuned into, never felt like I was going to lose that match in a million.
No, it just seems like they can't deal with your engine and can't match the card draws.
Well, I think he mulliganed early in that game.
Yeah.
And the biggest card for them is Elspeth Conquers Death, and getting to Teferi bounce it is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So my plan in these matches is to kind of get to a point where I can just resolve some Mayhem Devils, and then the Bontu will just finish them off, like you guys have seen literally like 3 or 4 times now.
We just tune in.
The Bontu is just insane.
It's unreal. It feels like they can't do anything with your engine. And I've also noticed that you've been playing around, sort of just assuming you can never lose the early game. They were putting you under pressure with the Cavalier of Thorns, and you just sort of tended to ignore it. It looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, my big consideration that game was dealing with the Cavalier of Thorns was a huge way to lose the game, because it gave him any draw he wanted off the top of his deck. And so I did my best to leave it in play on purpose, because I think if I had killed it early and he had gotten, let's say like a Nissa, I think, off of his graveyard,
Yep.
I would not have been able to deal with extra mana and extra threats turn after turn after turn.
Yeah, no, I thought you played it really well. You always committed to the same game plan, which I thought was really, really good. You played both games in the same sort of fashion of prioritizing, sort of setting up the engine, developing the engine, because once that's online, they can't beat that plan from you. And it was really deliberate. I thought you played both the times on coverage we watched you play against the control matchup. You played the deck super, super well. So I wanted to talk about it and see what your plan was. And it sounds great. It sounded like a really good plan for it. So
yeah, I mean, looking really good for a top 8 berth here. 1 round to go, X and 1.
yeah, like I'm almost certain you're locked for top 8. So looking forward to seeing how you perform in the top 8, man.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for the interview.
Thanks.
Problem.
All right, that was Brick Fingers, X and 1, Jund Food.
Yeah, dominant performance against Synod, who we saw earlier played the Bant deck very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait. I hope that we get to see this matchup, and I think we will, which is the Litxx versus Brick Fingers matchup, because Litxx on Bant has been on fire. In the Smash GG, if you type !tournament in our chat, it'll show the standings. Unversed is undefeated on Bant control. But it feels like the real boogeyman for that deck has been Jund Food. It's real tough, it seems. They don't have a way to stop the value engine created by Witch's Oven, so it's been pretty cool to see. Who else do we have in second place still for the standings once that's adjusted? We have the blue-red flash deck, which is in second place in the standings, which is unbelievable.
Let's open up the standings here. We still have the round is still going on.
It's pretty
a few
close to
unfinished
finish.
matches still, but we have an updated standings based on the matches that have been reported so far. In first, we have Unversed Litxx 5-0, undefeated with Bant mid-range.
Yeah.
Sterling, his opponent the last round, picking up the first loss, 4-1 with blue-red flash. Our Jun Food player that timed out 2 rounds ago, Ugly Red, picking up the win last round, 4-1. Brick Fingers as well, another Jun Food player, 4-1.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Astro Yeti. I don't need this was not even in top 8 contention before. Mm-hmm. You got Kerpler coming back on blue white control. Yep. Was not even in top 8 contention before. We saw Unformed. What's Yeti on? Oh, this is one of the Teamer Clover. I think they were in top 8 before.
Yeah, right? Astro Yeti on Teamer Clover, X and 1, Hot X.
Looks like blue white control.
Looks like Doom Foretold.
Looks like Doom Foretold. Wow. I didn't even know that was on our metagame breakdown. Hold on.
I think I missed this one.
Hold on. Wait.
That's not on our metagame breakdown.
Esper Doom Foretold. Hold on. Let me check the notes.
Maybe it was the Esper control deck.
That was guaranteed the Esper control deck on our metagame breakdown. Wait a darn tootin' second.
Doom Foretold 4-1.
4-1, making a potential run at top 8 for these 6 rounds of Swiss in the free Disorganized Wizards Club Organizational Tournament, in which entry is free and you get prizes. First place is a box.
Box of Theros Beyond Death, and wizardtower.com has provided store credit for the rest of the top 8.
And no matter where you are in the world, if you top 8 and you're in a different country than Canada, you can just tell us what you want to order. We'll happily mail it to you, because that's the kind of friendly attitude we have around here at the DWC. I guess we should take a quick break here before we head into the last round of Swiss. Before we bust out our top 8, you can see the breakdown here on the screen. Some pretty close tiebreakers going on here for people trying to slip in the last round. So it should be really important. We got 2 matches really approaching time for ending the round through Smash GG. I don't know when they queued into their arena games, but it shouldn't be much longer. Take a quick break, and we'll be back for our last round of Swiss.
Absolutely.